Hey guys, this video was a request from one of my viewers who is doing a project on bullying and homophobia. So I agreed to answer a few questions for him and make a video about it. I hope if you are struggling with homophobia or bullying that this might help you. I grew up in a small town in Victoria, Australia, where homophobia was pretty bad. Being gay was apparently one of the worst things that could happen to you, and a lot of people would beat you up if they thought that you were gay. They would call you numerous names that alluded to the fact that you were gay, but they didn't care if you were gay or not. They were going to pick on anyone anyway. Every time that I went to school, I felt targeted, threatened, and I also feared that my life would be in danger, or that I would be beaten up, or the worst thing could happen to me would be that everyone would find out that I was gay, and it would be all around the school because of something that I had done or said. Almost every day, someone would push me to the ground, beat me up, do something like break into my locker, take my bag away, try and make my life a living hell, and it would just make me so sad and depressed that every time I would go home, I want to do nothing but sit in my room by myself and just be alone. My self-esteem was affected a lot from this experience. After spending a lot of years being told that you weren't good enough to be someone's friend, that you weren't strong enough to do things, that you weren't cool enough, that people wouldn't be friends with you, it just became the idea in your head was that you were no good and that you would never be any good. What happened one year was one of my closest friends went to jail for killing what he thought was a gay guy. This guy wasn't gay, but just the fact that he thought that he was gay was enough for my friend to kill him. It was experiences like this that made me scared that I would be killed myself. I mean, I wasn't really that confident to talk to anyone. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend or anything. I was just kind of really scared and insular. And so I didn't really do much talking about how I was feeling to people because I felt that I would either be killed or I would kill myself just to get it over and done with. I was a very depressed teenager. I realized that something needed to change probably when I was around about 15 or 16, and I started to get a lot of friends who were the misfits and who were the people who didn't seem to fit into anywhere. Because by surrounding myself by people who just were happy enough to be who they were without questioning whether or not they were cool or whether or not they were funny or awesome, by surrounding myself with enough people who were just happy being themselves and just did not care what other people thought, they wouldn't care who I was either. They would just like me for the fact that I was myself. That being said, I didn't come out in high school because I didn't feel comfortable enough to, so I didn't come out until I had finished and went to university. When I went to university, everything changed. No one at uni cared that I was gay. No one at uni cared to abuse me for being gay. No one gave a shit because everyone was too focused on their own work and also about creating friendships and hanging out. When I was in university, I realized how small and insignificant my time in high school was. I did my work, I was concentrated on my work in high school, and I made friends. But after leaving that, I found that everyone who had been the people who had targeted me and called me gay and queer and all the other horrible names, they never made it to university because they just didn't have the potential. They were too busy hanging out with each other and too busy pushing everyone else down. It was just a really weird revelation. I don't know. I may appear like a confident person, but I'm really not. I still have a lot of struggles with my appearance, with my weight, with my ability to operate as a human. I struggle every single day with a lot of things. My self-confidence is one of them as well. I have a hard time not trying to get approval from people, and I understand that. One of my things that I have done to counteract that is to look to myself for approval before I seek approval from anyone else. If I am happy with who I am, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of me. Since leaving high school, I have achieved a lot. I have been asked back repeatedly to my old high school to do talks on numerous things, such as my short films, my stage productions that I have written and produced, and also my books that I have authored. It's good for me to be able to go back to my old school that was such a hard time for me, and talk to the students who are there now, and talk to the teachers who used to teach me, and just put in new memories, make the bad past it's kind of a good thing. I mean, there are superficial ways where I've gained confidence. Is like I also sometimes work as an actor, or I have done modeling jobs before, and as someone who was constantly told that they were ugly and that they were like hideous, to be able to do that and get that kind of recognition is kind of really weird to me. So I don't know. I guess it's just getting confidence by making sure that you're taking affirmative action to do things that will help grow your confidence. If you're experiencing periods of low self-esteem, or if you're feeling like you're being bullied, then have a look online for like kids helpline or a phone line that you can call to get some free advice, because there are actually lines throughout different countries that will be able to give you online counseling or counseling over the phone. That's the best idea. I mean, like I used to use that when I was in high school, when I felt like I was being bullied, or when I felt like I was just overwhelmed with everyone. By calling them up, it's a free service and they're trained to help you and trained to give you as much information as they possibly can. And I know that a couple of you are probably wondering, this is actually a tattoo of lips on my neck. A lot of people think that it's a hickey, but it's not. So I'd like to say thank you to Hamza. I hope this video has helped everyone who has watched it, and I will see you next week on YouTube.